It's been too long since we've tortured anybody, and today I've got a pretty fun way on how we're gonna do that. Oh, but we're not gonna torture these people. These ones are going to die quite quickly. I need to make a much bigger, better world than this one.
Did somebody say boom?
You think one bomb is big enough to take out this entire island? I'd say it was. Okay, this is the world which we're gonna work with, however, I don't really want a volcano. And since I don't really know how to stop the volcano, we're gonna drop a bomb on it and hope that works. And for some reason, that actually did. Now I'm going to replace most of the water with land. And that's going to look something like that. And then we sprinkle a little bit of water on there to make it grow. This is a fairly dull process, but I'm going to take my annoyance out on the people who are going to inhabit this land. And then finally, we're going to populate the land. I'm simply only going to use humans. And we're going to use a lot of humans. We're not going to use any of the other races because we don't need any of the other races to torture humans today. I really just wanted to hear the sound they make when I drop them into reality. 5,000 seems like a nice cozy number to work with. And then we're going to throw down another 5,000 over on this side. And then another 5,000 on the other side. The world is paused, by the way, so they're all sitting there in large piles. 15,000 well-placed people. And we're going to make a few changes to the world laws today. We're going to turn off hunger, that way people don't starve to death. And old age. That way old people have to suffer indefinitely, but also that's going to keep the population up. And they have a beautiful, bountiful world in which to work, so hopefully they start to thrive. Look at them spread out. 5,000 per cluster, I'm sure they'll get along great. My goal right now is have them kind of inhabit directly down the center of the map, kind of like they're doing. They are obviously going to spread out, but I need the majority kind of in the center. Look at this little go-getter. He's got a house built up before the crowd is even dispersed. This ironically looks like some kind of fungus taking over the world. They're definitely getting around pretty quickly, and I'm happy for them. And it looks like they are going to be largely stuck in the middle, so that's perfect. There's not much that can harm them in this world, so they should basically be thriving. They've definitely spread out into their own little colonies. Eventually it'll probably all become one because one's eventually going to take over the rest, but for now they can have their way. Maybe 15,000 people was too many for this world. I'm not sure the resources can support this. But that's a problem for 10. We're going to crank this up to 5 and let them go for a little while. I want to see civilization. Zooming out and leaving them to speed 5, they've spread all over the map. They are one corner to the other, mostly in the middle still. The world population, however, has dropped by 1,000. 1,000 people have died since we started, and I assume that's due to conflicts. Like whatever's happening with all these morons. That's not particularly great for the population, but we've still got 13,500 to lose. Okay, now that I zoom around a little bit, basically everyone is fighting everyone. Giant masses of people going on to fight other giant masses of people. Eventually things will balance out. This is just kind of the natural order or whatever. This is as good as life is going to be for them, so they might as well enjoy it. Right, we're going to drop the speed back down to 1 because we're down to 9,000 population left because they're killing each other alarmingly fast. And yeah, we are going to kill them eventually, but that's the key word there, eventually. If they all kill each other now, that's no fun for me. My brilliant strategy today was to put white mages at the top of the map because they're fighter of the evil mage, who we're going to put at the bottom of the map. If you see what I'm getting at, say we have 3,000 one mage up top, 3,000 of the other mage at the bottom, there's just a wall of humans in between them. They don't like each other, so they'll fight their way right through the humans to get to each other. And since the humans can't seem to figure out how to survive for very long on their own, we might as well start assisting in their death. So I think we're probably going to start with 3,000 of these mages at the top. I don't know how strong they are, and I don't know how to count these. So we're just going to put a bunch of these at the top. There's 3,000 Gandalfs, now for the evil ones down below. He might not look like much, but as soon as I press play, we'll see that he's in fact 3,000 of whatever that thing is. And that might have crashed the game. Nope, there it goes. Make a splash. Oh no, what do they do? I thought they were just going to kind of run around and make themselves at home and eventually fight the other mage, not spread lava all over the place. Did they just kill themselves? Regardless, their little war is probably going to be pretty detrimental to the humans' well-being. Because I'm pretty sure there used to be a village here. Oh no, it's going now. I'm not really sure what happened to these guys or what's happening in general, but something's happening. The population of beasts dropped back down to 3,000, so clearly they're just killing each other really badly right here in the center. And I'm pretty happy with this result. And if I ever manage to zoom out, we can see kind of the impact they've had so far, and it's actually a pretty considerable impact on the entire world. And I think they're actually fighting up top too. I finally managed to zoom in on where the white mages were, and they seem to be there just kind of making circles. So that's all well and good. Meanwhile, these guys down here just incinerated everything. I'm pretty sure they're mostly dead, but there's a pretty big firestorm going through the land. So let's add a new opponent into the mix. Let's try the Necromancer, champion of the skeletons. I'm going to throw one of him right there just to see how he reacts with his surroundings. He mostly gets killed by everything because they're throwing water or something at him. Okay, well that's pretty good. I think the mages are actually attacking him. And that makes a little bit of sense. So let's add more of these guys. The game hasn't broken yet, but we're going to get there. So I don't know how many I'm adding, but I'm just watching the people pile in there. I'm going to go until I think it's a fair fight, and then I'm going to keep going until it's not. Which I think might be somewhere in the neighborhood of now. Well, in a minute or two, we'll kind of see who's victorious and who isn't. The only thing I'm sure of right now is that there's a lot of creatures dying somewhere in that. So not only are they throwing like water at each other, but they're also throwing like meat sticks at each other. I'm not really sure if there's the body parts or what those are, but there's a whole bunch of stuff getting flung around, and reinforcements are coming in from somewhere. They just won't stop fighting in the middle. But I don't think the humans are winning anymore. If we zoom out a little bit, the white mages seem to be doing fine out there on the outside. They probably also didn't expect to see the snowman spawning in around them, encircling them. I'm not going to spawn too many of these in, but we're just going to, you know, throw some variety into the mix. Oh, they turn things into snow. I suspect there's a lot of things dying simply because the game isn't lagging super badly. So we're going to also add some bandits in. I've never really played with these that much, but they like TNT, and TNT is just a lot of fun in a big group of people. So I'm pretty sure at this point everything's just fighting everything. It's kind of like a battle royale, but there are no winners. You know what, while we're at it, let's throw a few bears in there too. Why not? The game's not lagging yet, so that many bears should be able to cause some kind of chaos. The humans are funneling in from everywhere to try and get a piece of this. I think they're trying to prevent whatever this is from taking over the world. I get it. I think I just heard a TNT go off, and they better wrap it up soon because there's a firestorm about to hit them. I think I'm seeing some skeletons over here, which looks like these guys, and I guess those are what the necromancers are summoning. But this is a very, very long, prolonged fight, and I'm not sure who's going to win in the end. The population isn't looking so hot, the number of humans is dropping pretty quickly, and the number of beasts is also dropping fairly quickly, so we're definitely losing our numbers, but they're having a pretty good fight. And the fire is definitely creeping closer. Oddly, the white mages seem to be able to survive within the fire. So maybe I should have regretted putting those guys in, because they seem to be pretty much just doing whatever they want and they don't give a damn about anything else. Well, the Great Battle Royale is still going on. The fire is creeping ever closer, and I'm kind of curious to see what happens once it hits there. It might disintegrate everyone except the white mages. Or it may do nothing at all. We're seeing the white mages taking damage, and sometimes their shields are breaking. I don't know if that's turning them into skeletons or what's happening. We're down to 4,000 humans and 3,000 beasts. And the beasts can be anything basically that isn't a human at this point. And I think the snow actually put the fire out before getting to the core of battle. So what happens if we drop an evil mage over here? Are they going to fight the white guys? Yeah, it looks like they're kind of going to fight the white guys. He might also explode in fire. We're going to drop a few of those kind of on the perimeter of things just to keep the white guys on their toes. We can't have the white mages just living in their bubbles all their lives. They got to learn to deal with some adversity. A little wildfire here and there never caused anyone any harm at all. Except maybe those guys. This whole time, they've been like battling around this tree, and this tree is somehow still standing. The population of humans is dropping definitely quicker than the beasts, so the beasts currently have an advantage, and I think it's going to continue going in that way. If these guys wanted to join and help, they could probably win, but they're too busy just kind of dancing around their village. So what do we add to all these to make it even better? A demon? Demons cause more fire, and everything's already burned, so I'm not sure if that's going to help or make things more difficult. So we're just going to throw some in anyway and observe. We're not allowed to interfere with the world, obviously. We can just observe what happens. Oh, you know what the world needs now? Since we have a big population of people up here? Zombies. That way everyone can fight zombies at the end. And it's not going to take too many zombies at all to start to overrun the human population. We're just going to keep going until we start seeing some green guys out there in the crowd. Those white mages seem to be on the human side. Like, they want to hurt everything that causes harm to humans, it seems like. The zombie plague will start taking over any second now. I can feel it. Yeah, there's still zombies there, so those might take root or they might not. Either way, the humans are going to have their hands full for a while. Meanwhile, these guys have created like a defensive perimeter to try and contain whatever threat this thing is. And I'm definitely still not sure what is happening in here. Yeah, they still seem to be having problems with the zombies, especially up in this corner where there was more zombies to people. Then while we're at it, let's make some houses run away. All those houses are now enemies that can get up and walk. That should keep everyone thoroughly confused. So not only do they have zombies and white wizards to deal with, but their houses are going to get away and or murder them. This is a weird corner of the world. Do they focus on the zombies? Do they focus on the houses? Nobody knows what to do. We even have a tornado over here for some reason, so that's kind of fun. This was once a very peaceful, thriving world, and now it looks kind of like Mars, but less survivable. I think it's kind of funny because at first the humans were all killing themselves at a rapid rate, but they were still so much better off than they are now. Oh, we got a baby tornado. There's a pretty good battle of the mages going on right here. They haven't dumped lava on themselves again yet, so these ones are smarter than the originals. Oh, this could be good. If that tornado goes up into the big cluster of people, that's going to be super chaotic. Come on, go upwards. Well, we can't have it all in life. That tornado does not like this place, so we're going to add a little lightning just to balance it out. These guys are just still fighting. I don't know why neither can defeat the other, but they're just sitting right there, constantly frozen. Look at everyone up here diving into the water to get away from the fire. They should know there's nowhere safe in these worlds. Actually, where'd that ship go? He can't get away. That's not how this game works. Yeah, that's what you get for trying to survive. You know what? Let's take down the whole shipyard while we're at it. No, I don't want to see what it's called. I want to hit it with lightning. These white mages are tough. Like, I'm pretty sure I can even hit them with lightning and they don't necessarily die. I don't really know how to kill them. There is but one little patch of greenery left up here in the corner. I've basically done nothing to these people yet. So let's just make all the remaining trees come to life and run away. They're going to light on fire anyway, so it's just going to be amusing because the trees are probably going to run directly into the fire. And I wouldn't really blame them. I wouldn't want to live by these people either. They run straight to the fire to get it over with. There we go. Now I have individual sized bombs. I can pick and choose who dies. I picked that guy.
Nope.
Wow, they're tough. As tough as all the white mages are, no one is as tough as this core of creatures. This thing is still going strong, and I feel like it's just forever going to last. We're down to 725 people and 2,000 beasts. Okay, since we can't sit here forever and wait for these guys to do something, I'm going to add one little acid geyser kind of in the middle. That way it's fair for everyone. Oh, but the stupid white mages are probably also immune to acid. But whatever the case, that's there to kind of tip the scales one way or another. They can have all the tornadoes they want. There we go. If that doesn't get them to move, nothing will. I think one thing that can defeat the white wizards are going to be the crab. Crab just has big circles incinerating everything around him, and he looks so happy doing it. Look at that smile on his face. The last stronghold of people. I don't even really have to do anything. I can just walk over their crab with my crab legs. But we'll double down to make sure they're all pretty thoroughly dead. This isn't really torture at this point as much as it is just straight up genocide. Just a simple laser crab taking a walk in the park. I wonder what would happen if we let this world run for like an hour. Would the greenery come back? Would it rebuild itself? Or have we done too much damage for it to ever recover? Alright, so we're going to turn on to speed 5 and let it run for a little while just to see what the world does. Because it might actually repair itself eventually, or it might just continue doing this. A few years later, and yeah, the Earth is actually coming back. The greenery is coming back, the population is certainly coming back. In fact, they're really about out of room and back to fighting with each other. But there's 429 beasts in the world and a population of about 3,000 humans. You'd almost never know the apocalypse happened here. And curiously, there's not nearly as much fighting as I thought because it's actually all one village for once. And a fairly advanced village at that because they have swords and shields. Which I'm pretty sure are perfect for fighting dragons. Lots and lots of dragons. Oh, as soon as the dragons attack, now they split into two different empires. But in case you've ever wondered what 300 dragons does to a world, pretty much turns it into magma. And that's also pretty bad for the population. Suddenly we're down to a world population of 62, 44, 39. They worked so hard to rebuild for so many years, only to get an army of dragons destroy them in 5 whole minutes. They really don't discriminate either about where they want to lay down all their fire. They just go for it pretty much wherever they're flying. We're down to one person. Well, somewhere out there, presumably, there's one last surviving human. But we don't believe in survivors here, so we're gonna do something to take care of everyone remaining, including the dragons. No one survives the nuclear bombs. The end.